Welcome to another TOLTM conversation. And today we are outdoors. We've been talking a lot about land and what to look for, making proper assessments, and all the things when you are considering agri life, agribusiness, sustainability, all the things. So, I am Dr. Eve, and I am your community health and human service educator and qualitative researcher on the journey for sustainable living. That is what we talk about here, all things well being and sustainable living. So, y'all, I'm fresh back from the conference where I was a presenter at the NABSW conference. And I tell you, just the opportunity has of being able to present has lit a fire. It has lit a fire up under me to continue the work, to make sure that as a researcher that I am always adding value to the research. So you all know I have retired officially, but how many of you know when you practice social work, you never really retire? You're always on a journey to help in from at one way or another. And as a macro level human who practices social work at the community and global levels, my goal is to next take my next step into sitting quietly, growing food, and doing the research while I'm at it. So it's a very peaceful place to be in after all of these years, and I am excited to be on this journey with all of you. And thank you for being here. So today, again, we are in the garden. Today, we're going to take a garden tour. As you know, we have weathered some really tough times. Hello there. We have weathered some really tough times, tough seasons this winter, right? This winter was unlike anything I have seen in the north, right? Yet hello there, because with the changes in weather, we can experience the seasons all in one day. That's the way I saw this last winter. But to God be the glory. We survived, so did the plants, and I'm going to take you on a tour today to share that with you. But before we do that, I want to ask you one very important question for all of those out there who are urban homesteading, modern homesteading, back to the land movement, all the things. What do you do with your seeds? How are you handling the seeds from the plants that you grow? Because the word tells us that I give you every seed bearing thing to as meat to eat, right? And that every seed bearing thing bears a seed of itself. Maybe not verbatim that way, but that is the thought that God had, right? So let's get down to it. So I did some research. Again, we're talking about how do we apply the research to the things that we are doing. So as you know, I'm urban homesteading, and because of that, I'm interested in teaching you more about what the research says about food, what the research says about growing things, what the research says about seeds, what the research says about taking care of you. Where am I from? I am from North Carolina. Hello, and welcome to my channel. So, there are three epic moments in history we need to talk about. Three epic moments in history when the people pushed back. The people pushed back because they no longer trusted the government, right? So let's think about that for a second. back in the first epic moment was back in the 60s and 70s. I happen to be the child of a flower child, right? And because I was born in the early 60s and I lived through those moments as well. So it's just amazing that to do the research and to discover that that was actually one of the times, one of the epic moments in history that we are going to discuss. So why did the people push back so hard? Because if those of you who were not born in that era, this is a history lesson for you. There was the Vietnam War. And when our soldiers came, many of our family members were drafted into that war. And when they came back, their lives would never be the same, as we know with any war, right? But the Vietnam War showed us some things about the people who sent our family members to the Vietnam War, came back and had no treatment methods, had no respect, had no dignity. They did not care for them in the way that they needed to be cared for. And so if you look it up, the post Woodstock era and the Vietnam War, you will really begin to see that they went back to the land. They wanted a very simple life. They no longer desired to have big government. They didn't want anything to do with it. They wanted to live free and happy and on the land and grow their own food, make their own clothes, wear less, do much more with less, live minimalist life, right? That is what they desired. And unfortunately, because, yes, unfortunately, because things got even harder, during the time of, let's say, during the time of another rise in inflation and things of that nature, that back to the land moment dissipated. It dissipated, and we began to go back into the workforce. Those who were in that movement began to say, we can no longer just care for ourselves on the land because we can't afford the energy, we can't afford the things, we can't afford the clothing, we cannot afford. So they had to go back to, back into the workplace to live like everyone else. The second epic moment in history was the time during the politic politiza- politiza- politicization of climate change, when individuals were really concerned about how the environment was impacting our lives. And that is when people again began to do what is called urban homesteading, right? So now you have urban homesteading on the rise during the 1990s. This was 1990s. Urban homestead was on the rise. Urban homesteading was on the rise. And what they wanted was to make a change, to cultivate in a way, to go green, to stop what was happening in the climate, to control plastics, to control all the things that were affecting our soil, conservation, our water, all the things. It became what we call the green movement, right? All right, so then that movement moved swiftly along and is still alive. But then there was another epic moment in history, and that moment was C-19. It showed us so many things. We were on lockdown, every system was broken, we weren't able to get the things we needed. The movement of products across waters, import, export, there was not enough of it, not enough access to it. And so people really began to see, not just that, but were afraid of a system that was forcing its antics on the human being, right? And now we see today all of the exposure of these things, and all the people want is to be healthy. Now we see that we must, people began to, like myself, began to explore alternatives. What can this vegetable do for me? What can this herb do for me? How can I take care of my hair with some flaxseed? How can I take care of my skin with some turmeric? How can, what can I do to utilize the food, God's food, to help me to take care of myself? Because what we then discovered was not only were they forcing their antics on us, but the things that they were making things with were chemically affecting us, right? Affecting our skin, affecting our minds, our guts, our everything was in jeopardy. So people began to do what is called modern homesteading. And in that moment, in modern homesteading, we were completely concerned about our total well being, our overall well being, mentally, physically, socially, financially, all the things, emotionally, all the things, right? So now we're looking at, and I just wanted to know, as a researcher, my mind is always saying, why? You know, this happened, but why did it happen? Right? There's always an underlying reason and rationale behind a thing happening. And so we don't just want to be out here doing things. We want to understand the why behind that thing. As a researcher, I'm always look for the voice of the people, qualitative voice. I love to hear from the people. What the people have to say about that? What were their words? What was the tone that they used? Where were they when they felt that thing? And what was going on at the time that made them, that yielded this type of result? So with that little bit of history, we're going to take a walk into the garden so you can see what has happened since the ice went away, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about seeds, how you're harvesting those, why those things should be important to you, and all of those things. So here I am. This is an area that in the garden that I've actually created as a sitting place for me to just come every single morning. I have a greenhouse here that where I grow vegetables in the greenhouse. And let me just turn this around. So here, this is the garden. This is the garden from afar. And there's a lot of things here. There's a lot going on in the garden right here. This is one of the sitting areas that I've put together next to the patio, so I would have a place to not only work, but a place to sit and meditate, to sit amongst the flowers and the things that are growing. And this is the greenhouse, and I'm always surrounded by the things of God, the things that God created, right? My chickens are over in the corner, and this is my greenhouse where I grow all my little seedlings and keep my little seedlings safe until it's time to plant. So this is it's kind of warm in there. This is the it's very warm in there. So this is the greenhouse, growing some things in there. And yes, I probably need to open the window because, baby, it is super warm. And things are growing, and growing. And some things are probably going to begin to bolt because it's so warm. So I need to open it up. Anyway, this is the greenhouse where I'm growing all the seeds and preparing to put things, summer food, into the garden. Here, I keep also nearby my soils and things. I'm preparing right today, preparing to put some apple seeds, plant some apple trees here. So I'm getting ready to filter some hot water through this dirt so I can plant out my apple trees, which I've done quite a few, but these are a few more that I will have to put in the ground. Y'all, this year I really worked on growing from seed. These are all beets. These are beets. But what was so curious, interesting about this is I had seeds in here already, and I didn't know it. I had basil seeds in here. Look at that. I've got stuff growing in here. I don't even know what it is because I had put seeds in here and did not know that there were seeds in here. And then I put seeds on top of seeds. And so I got stuff growing down in here that I will only know once it grows because I don't know. I threw seeds on top of seeds and I didn't realize it. I planted these beets in here because I thought the pot was empty and the pot was not empty. So there's another basil seed growing there. I don't know what that is, but baby, there's some stuff growing in this here pot. It's growing. I think this is chamomile. I don't know, but I have no idea, but it has lots of flowers growing from it. It might be a weed. I don't know, but we're going to find out. I think I'm going to pull it out and so that I can figure out what it actually is because it might be pulling nutrients. So I'm probably going to just pull it out, the whole thing, because I can grab it, right? It looks like it could be a weed, but because I put so many seeds in here and I didn't know what was in here, I don't know that it is. So I'm going to come back and grab that at some point. All right, so this year I also grew from seed marigolds. So these are the marigolds that are growing here, and they are doing very, very well. I love marigolds in the garden. I also grew from seed apple trees. So these are apple trees that I'm preparing for the fall to go in because you are always remember that growing food is 365 days out of the year. This is my garden of kohlrabi, Georgia collards, and bok choy. And what you see laying on that white powder is diatomaceous earth to keep those aphids off of my food. Is harmless, it's organic, and it's harmless. Okay, so sometimes you have to use a little something to combat the enemy. These are our onions. They are doing very, very well. Excited. They're strong. I'm going to begin to start cutting them back so that I can let me see if I can clear this camera. I'm going to start cutting them back so they can continue growing. As you can see, I place onions in everything, marigolds, so that they have protection. I've also planted some garlic in this bed, so hopefully the garlic will also deter pests. It will deter the snails. I am putting different things in the garden. I've added some nasturtium right here, a shard. I just kind of stick the plants in there, see whatever I can put in the bed and what will grow. So the assassins, those beetles, there was an assassin out here trying to assassin these bok choy, and baby, I went to town, baby, because you're not winning over here. All right, so I'm gonna go back here to show you um, the the orchard area. This is a big orchard area. I love it. And it's very cool in this area. This is where um, my old my old greenhouse used to be that was covered in plastic. And now it's going to be my grapevine. So I'm putting in all the grapes. As you can see, there are grapes everywhere. There are grapes everywhere. When I tell you there are so many grapes out here. Can you see them? There's so many grapes everywhere. And so I put up this trellis so that I could begin to allow the small leaves like this to begin growing onto the trellis so that because they're growing from the ground and I don't want them on the ground, so I'm trying to just control how they move a little bit. So anyway, this is the grapevine, and the grapes are everywhere. So this is the banana, and it came back this year, so we're really excited about that. Mom and daughter doing their thing. Down there also is an invasive raspberry, which is down there too. And I don't know what this plant is, but it's wrapping itself around. I'm hoping we get some bananas this year, y'all. I don't know. But I am praying that we get bananas because it's so beautiful. It's growing fast. And yeah, so we're excited about that. Hope that it'll get. That's why I took the greenhouse. I took the plastic off of this because I figured I can't move this. So I need to give this banana tree space to grow. So we're going to let it grow right on through this trellis and grow on up. And we're going to let these grapevines grow under it so that it can just do its thing. I'm going to put in I have two more grapevines that I'm going to be putting in. This one going to be putting in the ground so that it can grow up this pole and around, or up this row and go over. So I'm just using uh, old, this old tent to be a trellis. So really excited about that. And this is another one that I'm going to put probably right near it. I'm going to put these these grapes within probably 2 feet of each other so that they can begin to grow upwards. And I also have some methods for training them upwards. So I put in this used to be my cucumber spot, but now it's a fenced in area. So it doesn't get a whole lot of sun, but it does get enough, right? Depends on what time of day it is. And so we're going to begin to use this area for cool. Now over here, I'm going to use this area for cool weather, something that does not like a lot of heat. So this area has not completely filled out yet, but we're working on it. I'm just hovering right now, controlling the weeds with this plastic because it used to be, again, a greenhouse. All right. So we're just going to go back over here before we move into there and take a look at. I have two new blueberry trees, two new blueberry bushes that I am growing. Another raspberry, and she's going to stay in the bag because, again, these things get very invasive. So we're going to leave them in bags so we can move them around. And also, while we're at it, this is also blueberry. I have no idea what this is, but God knows it looks like some wheat or a weed. I can't be sure, but it's growing very, very fervently over there. Um, this is blueberry. I cover them up because if I don't cover them up, the birds will eat all the blueberries before I can get to them. This over here too, I have two more grapevines that I put in the ground, and they have a pot next to them. But these are two more, and I'm going to take them down this fence line. So we have to be strategic in our planting methods because things have to grow a specific way. And this is my little raspberry patch here. And it is, like I said, very invasive. So I keep it cut back. I keep it cut back so that it maintains right here. It doesn't go any further. Will it throw? It will throw off babies, and I just cut them back because I just don't need a lot of raspberries growing all over the place. This is on a very hilly mound right here. I don't know why the mound is like this, but um, as you can see, it's also got, look, grapes. So I'm gonna have to take this and attach it to. I'm using these ties to control it, so it looks like this is ready to actually be attached to this trellis. So excited about that for me. Okay, so these are probably first year branches, and as you can see, they aren't growing anything, so I'm going to have to cut them back. As you can see, there are lots of wasps and not white butterflies, but those white butterflies are not, but they're actually moths, and they're nemesis to the garden. They wreak havoc on your garden. This is our raspberry tree, and for the first time this year, I am controlling everything. I'm really working on how things work out here. So these beautiful blackberries are growing this way. So we're training them now to grow towards the fence so that they're not merging in with the raspberries. Oh, raspberries are already here. Look at that. I'm gonna have to cover these because as soon as they start turning, baby, them birds is coming for them. So I'll probably put not bird netting, but I'm gonna put like a tulle over them because the bird netting sometimes catches the blackberries and they break them off. So here's another one. I'm actually getting ready to put down I'm putting down this piece of another stake so that I can grab this branch off the ground and guide it. So that's the goal. Guide. You have to make sure that you are guiding your fruit in the direction that you want it to go. So far we've talked about the grapes, the banana, blackberry, raspberry, and of course, I plant roses everywhere. The bees love them. There's also watermelon going to be that grew down here. So I don't know what's going to come back because there were so many seeds that went into the ground through a watermelon that just burst. Over here, I have plants and lots of figs. So there's a fig under here as well that's hiding. That's why I have to bring that up as well because it cannot breathe. I might have to actually move it, and this year I might just do that. But it's already growing figs, as you can see. They came in very early this year, which was exciting. So the figs are already producing. We have one, two, and that's the third one over there. And I'm going to have to move it. I think I'm going to move it right over here somewhere with its sisters over here. So this area again, this is the orchard area. This is more roses. I'm getting ready to plant some avocados out here as well, probably right here in this area because my avocados need to be in the ground and covered so that they can continue to grow. We have flowers back here as well. Zinnias are everywhere. They'll probably start peeking their heads through after a while. But there are lots of things growing in the garden. This is a dwarf crab apple. This is first year actually doing much of anything. I'm loving to see it. Again, the white powder that you see is diatomaceous earth. It is an organically food friendly pest control, and that's what we need out here. I leave things for the birds to come after so that they stay away from the foliage and that we keep them alive. So we still have collards that are seeding. We need the seeds, everyone. If you are not growing seeds, I don't know what to tell you. When you let things go to flower that were always really good producing things, then you get the seeds. This is a seed pod. You have to save your seeds because let a few things go to seeds so that you have seeds for the future. If you have plants that are giving you good yield, you need to let them go to seed so that you can get the seeds. And that is what I'm letting these do. They pretty much take care of themselves. I'm not going to get much more from them. Ooh, hold on. I don't know what happened to. Okay, I can't see out here, so I'm gonna have to go where I can get some. I can't see you all. Hold on just a second. The sun is blaring. We'll catch back up in a second. We're getting to the back of the garden now, where I'm gonna show you some other things, but I can't see you all. So okay, so we're back and we're live. Okay. All right, so I was trying to figure out what happened to the camera. So I'm going to probably be just turning it around so I don't lose you all. So we were over here we were over here at the collar area where I have a bunch of collard seeds growing, and this is what I wanted to show you, that we it's very important that we save our seeds. This is broccoli. So these are all seeds from my broccoli. So these are going to be harvested seeds that I'm saving for to plant in the fall, or I will begin to seed these out probably in August and begin to prepare them to go in the ground for the fall, because the fall is also a growing time. If you haven't heard that yet, growing is 365 days a year, and your green leafy vegetables love to grow in your winter months. So make sure that you are preparing for that. This is a plum tree that I added this year. It's not doing much yet, but we're going to see. In the meantime, I've planted some onions around it to keep the snails and things off of it so it can grow effectively. This is a lemon and lime tree. I'm going to add a couple more citruses here, which I absolutely love. This is the orange. This is the lemon or lime, lemon lime, and we have the plum. And I have, yeah, this is a beautiful place back here that I've been cleaning up. This is my zinnias, some zinnias. I had some tires changed, y'all, and I brought the tires home and made flower pots out of them. So just don't put too much food in them, because they don't they may not grow as well in those because of the street road, the plastic, the erosion, all that stuff that plastic and dirt and stuff that's in plastic may affect it. So I'm growing a bed back here. This is where I put all of my chicken stuff, because I'm preparing. This has to be composted for at least 6 to 8 months. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it back here to make a really nice fertilized raised bed for the fall, and it's probably going to grow some amazing food too. This area right here is where this is my little mound. I had a tree cut, so that's some firewood that we're saving. This is actually a banana tree. I was trying to figure out if it would come back this year, because it died back in the winter, but it doesn't look like it's trying to come back. So if it doesn't, I'm going to move it and put another tree there. But back here we also have coming in our sunflower. So this is a sunflower mound. As you can see, there's a lot of little green things growing. I grew sunflowers from seeds. So that's a sunflower mound that I put all of a bunch of sunflowers there so that they can grow. So we're excited about having a space for our sunflowers. This area back here is going to be a campground. So we're going to put up a full-fledged tent camping space and experience. It's beautiful back here, y'all. It's cool. I love that. I love that for me, that this area is so cool back here, because it's a place where you can actually come and sit and not be beat down by the heat, right? So I love that for me. So again, I'm going to turn the camera around because this is the campground. So the next time you see this will be built out. I'm actually going to be putting a campground right here for my grandchildren, for anyone really, my family that loves to camp. My daughter loves to camp, so we're putting a campground here, tent, tables, outhouse, all the things right here. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's a rather large space. It's going to have sunflowers. It's going to have food, because we also have food here. So we have food here, which I'm very excited about. Our tomatoes are going here. They will be graced with the opportunity to have sun during a period of the day that they need them, but they won't be scorched, because we have also the ability to shade them just a little bit, because I will be using these trellises to put some sunshade over them when they're needed as they are growing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now, and on this back side we're also going to put more tomatoes in bags. So I'm growing a lot of things in bags as well. I love to grow in bags. Now, let's take you to this area. So this is a very shaded area as well. This is the entrance to our La Geneve garden from the side, the estate garden from the side. And so we are working on what we want to do with this area. But the most important thing is when people come in, I want them to see beauty. So this is a very cool area as well, very shaded under the trees. And guess what I put here? I put a seating area. So we have a seating area here. I found this beautiful wrought iron chair my neighbor was ridding of, and so I took it in. I took it in, and it is facing forward, facing the rose garden, which we are constantly building out, and we're putting in other plants that like shade and sun. So just to be clear, this area is loves shade and sun. We have plants back here that will protect people from the mosquitoes because mosquitoes are already bad. So we have lavender. We have plants that like to draw bugs, which is the nasturtium. Nasturtium is beautiful, and so we're potting those. I grew those from okay, I skipped past this bed, so let me just go back. It's still got broccoli and stuff in it, which is about to be pulled out. I'm about to pull the broccoli out. I think I'm gonna leave the green cabbage and the because they look like they're doing what they want to do. So I'm probably gonna pull out the broccoli because they're not gonna grow much. They're bolting. But I have in here some turnips, some radish, some onions, some small things, small plants I just put in last night right here. So I put in a lot of babies that I grew from seed down in here. This bed has been over. This was a zinnia bed last year. I did put an artichoke, not an artichoke, but a rhubarb. Rhubarb is so good, y'all. But I put plenty of onions in because I wanted to prepare so that these spaces would have protection. So these don't have. This is a herb bed. It does not have a lot in it right now, and it's looking kind of shabby. This artichoke I put here, and of course there's some kale here, but this mint got lots of oregano, onions. But I'm going to be putting things back here, waiting for it to another cool day because it's very hot today. These are corn, so I put in some corn. And we're going to go back up to the shaded area. So before we get there, though, I'm going to show you my seedlings. These are my kale seedlings and my turnip seedlings over there, which are ready to come out because some of them are already protruding out of the ground and have already bulbed. This is my asparagus in the middle, as you can see, already starting to fern, and I'm preparing to put some plants here, bags here that whatever grows can grow up on it. So you can use just about everything that you find as trellises. Be very creative. These are crepe myrtles, and they love it here. So again, here are some beans and some peppers that I've already started growing, beans and peppers. And so I put a trellis here. This is like a little trellis that I bought. And this is also a trellis. So I could actually move this, but I put it here just in case I wanted to, if I get beans that want to be sprout all over this, I will be able to loop it in. And so this is the back side of the garden that has this is the back side of the rose garden. And I am starting to pick up the seeds. I'm starting to pick up the flower seeds because we must save all seeds. So this is again, this is another seating area that we have. And it's very cool back here. So I love that for me. All right. So we're going to move on to another area. So we have here some peas that are growing. It's very hot here in this area. So I'm thinking that this is not a really good place. So I'm going to try and put some back there, right? Because we do have some cool areas. Well, y'all look at that nasturtium right there, though. It is huge. And these spinach, I'm going to start pulling these up because what is this though with these seeds on it? You see this with seeds on it? Y'all look at that. I don't know what that is, but they got seeds on them. What kind of plant is? Y'all see that? I don't know what this is, but look at them seeds. Can y'all see that? I don't even know what kind of plant that is, but it's got seed pods on it. Anyway, I gotta figure that out. So these are the spinach. I'm going to be taking these up and leaving in the peppers. These are carrots. Carrots, they're in the ground, so they're doing just fine. Let me go over here before I go that way. We have still some collards. And you know what? These are some tough greens. Because baby ain't nothing bothering them. Again, these are Borkel in here. And yep, surrounded by onions and garlic. We've also got some eggplant I put in there. This is another survivor, another collard survivor. So got to be real careful because those white flies will get to them really, really quickly when they lay their eggs. So you can't leave your food out here. You got to take your food in. So the aphids, looks like the aphids have gotten to this one. I see some of the worms on it, so I'm going to take it off. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You see those worms? Those bad boys will come in here and eat everything. So I'm going to give that to my chickens and come back, and I'm going to take a look at these leaves so that I can check them out. This is celery and more carrots. I grow my own stevia, so this is a bed of stevia. And y'all, this is my very first marigold that has bloomed that I grew from seeds, so I love that for me. Um, yeah, this thing was mutilating this. Look, you see it? Look at that aphid. And that's their babies. You see them? But baby, my chicken love worms, so they about to get a treat. So these are peppers over here. And back here, I'm getting ready to take these cabbage up because they're not doing anything anymore. This is my milk thistle. That really grew nicely. It's in its own pot, baby, because you can't even put your hands down there because that thing will bite you. And the way these nasturtium just coming in, oh wow, they are just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. The nasturtium is just so pretty. This is also a olive tree um, with olives growing. I don't know how many we'll get, but I have one over here that's absolutely loaded. Okay, so in this bed, we have a little bit of everything. We have some herbs, some holy basil, some peas. We got some collards over there, with cabbage. I'm not sure which one. We've got some herbs right here, some turnips. And these are mustards, and they are definitely bolting, so it's time for them to come out. I also put in a lavender tree here. So I'm doing some hanging pots there too. If my phone gets too hot, y'all, and cut off, I'm sorry. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going back into the shaded area so I can see you if there's anyone here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to La Geneve Garden, where we talk about all things well-being. So I had to take a break because it's very hot. So I'm coming back in. Woo! Y'all, it's hot out there. It's hot in the garden today, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Decided to just take a quick break because it's so hot. Um, that's the thing about it. You have to have some shaded areas in your garden to be able to enjoy your garden from the heat. And I love the trees, all the trees that we have, and we have a couple beautifully shaded areas on the grounds, which I'm loving. Like I said, um, I'm working on this entrance, but this is going to be one of those areas that I absolutely love because of the shade that it has. Um, we also have, let me turn around. I'm putting in, this is a shaded area. I'm putting in some hostas. I'm making this area a food place too, but it's going to be a shaded area, a place where shaded foods grow. I'll probably put some bags in there. I don't know what yet, but baby, we just working on it, right? We just out here working. We out here working on stuff. Okay, so in here, again, these are hostas. These are our potato bags that are growing and doing well. And we have peppers. Oh, this pepper is, I don't know what this thing doing, but y'all see this? This pepper is look like it's trying to go. I don't know what's happening, but it didn't outgrow itself. Is that the strangest thing or what? I know that's not called bolting, is it? Because peppers grow all year. But I might, I don't know, I might cut these leaves off and so that it doesn't have energy wasted at the bottom. I believe that's what I'm going to need to do. These are also peppers growing here and leeks growing there. More collards growing there, and I'm keeping them protected. And I will be putting some shade cloth over them. This is another olive tree. These are our apples that we're growing. Apple trees for the fall that I'm going to plant. More peppers, and this is our beautiful, beautiful olive tree. And baby, these olives are flower. Oh my God, this is so beautiful to me. They are coming in, y'all. They are coming in beautifully. This olive tree is loaded. When I tell you it is loaded, you know, olive trees are sacred and they're right now being destroyed. And so I brought this one home with me, and I brought, these are my peach tree that bloomed for the first time. We've got peaches. You have to be very careful because the predators be over here laying stuff on them that will later bore into your peaches and destroy them. This is a kiwi berry tree, and that's what I have for today, y'all. Over here in this bed, it's nice and shaded, is some collards. It gets its sun in the morning, but it has beautiful marigolds and snapdragons, herb, dill, parsley, whatever I can put in there. I love to just put flowers and things together. So that's what we got going on in the garden, y'all. So anyway, back to the seeds. I wanted to just talk with you all about, you know, your seeds. Like, we not just out here, we can't just be out here just growing. We have to grow so we don't have to spend no more, you know. I think that may have even been part of the issue of the 60s is not having, you know, to maintain a garden or to maintain your food supply for future years, you have to save your seeds. And so that's a part of the 365 days of not having to buy again. When I put things in the ground here, I usually put perennials in because perennials are always going to come back, which is why you should be doing fruit trees, lots of fruits, nuts, all the things, because those are things that you need on your homestead. And so, y'all, I just wanted to come in and share. I'm also going to be putting these strawberries. I have a strawberry bed out there that is fruiting right now. But I'm putting these little babies, I'm putting those in hanging pots. And I'm going to put them up here so that I have strawberries that are off the ground because, you know, we have to fight for our food, you know. We have to fight with the pests for our food, and we're not just growing to just for the best to eat, but we're growing so that our families can eat. So we have to be intentional about how we are setting things up. And I sit here and I think about and I do research and I think about ways, new innovative ways and approaches, even to gardening, because we have to be intentional about what's next for us, right? What's next? I'm probably going to take a trip today and go to the garden house. I want to see what else I can find that's not in my garden or that I don't have seeds for, because it's spring is sprung. Spring is sprung. We're about to get rain, and we're going to be getting some nice fruit and flowers. So we have to keep putting things in the ground. We have to use all methods. God is saying in this time, do not put everything outside. God is really speaking to me in this time not to put everything outside because we don't have a clue as to what's going to be coming out of the sky. So that is what he is speaking to me. So I'm going to continue growing in the house as well, making sure that I have grow spaces, hydroponics. We have to use all of our methods because there's going to be a shaking in the earth, and some of that may affect food crops out there. I'm praying Psalm 91 over mine, that I'm praying that my airspace is not a fly space, it's a no fly zone. I'm praying that, whatever is designed for this earth is not designed for my garden. I'm praying intentional prayers over this land. And you must do the same because at this joint venture in our lives, it's every man for himself. As much as we want to practice social work, it's every man for himself. If you are not taking care of your family right now, if you have not made your family a priority right now, then what are you doing? Because it's an order to things. There's God, family, and then community in that order. God, family, and then community in that order. So, anyway, for those of you out there, I am Dr. Eve, your qualitative researcher and your podcaster here on TOLTM Conversations. And it's been exciting sharing my garden with you today. I still have a lot of work to do. It's just me out here, and so me out here doing a couple of things a day. If you could just do a couple of things a day, but the one thing I don't ever want you to do is give your living, your ability to sustain, back to the government. Stop giving control of your ability to live to the government. Minimize your living. We don't need all the things that we buy, but we do need food. We do need a home. We do need shelter. We do need water, right? So the things that you need, focus on those things because there's coming a day and you better work now. Work while it is still day because the night will come when no man can work. I hope that you have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way of your on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. Keep growing, get back to the land, urban stead, homestead, grow food, not grass, all the things, y'all. But remember, there are a lot of things we're doing that we don't have to do. Your money not going to save you, but your ability to sustain might give you a little bit more life, a little more longevity. So make sure that your family is cared for. Make sure you're thinking about what you need to be doing in this time. Get your connection, build your relationship with the Father because it is going to be every man for himself, including your prayer life. What will that look like? Will you know what to pray? Do you have a Bible? Do you know the stories and the times of the Bible when certain things happened and there was a solution that God gave to them? Do you remember those times? Well, you have to build up yourself in your most holy faith to sustain. Okay. Peace and blessings, everyone. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments section because I can't see them out here with all this sun. Have a great day. Hello from India. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming into the space. I love it when you all are here. Let's see who else is here. I'm doing fine. Lynn, doing just fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the tour. And maybe next time we'll have some new things, cucumbers and some new things that I'm going to be planting in the garden. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you on the next video.